Good morning. This is the Mara Eye, and as always, this is the talk show. We'll be talking about the drought in Kenya and the possible strategy of mitigating it. And also, with me, I have visitors. My name is Bahati Yusra. I'll be your host today. So, my visitors, you can introduce yourself from my right.
Okay, thank you. My name is George, and I'll be here to share the possible ways of combating this disaster in our country. Thank you.
Thank you for inviting us here today. My name is Kiprop Samuel. We'll be talking about the response and the mitigation about the drought response and how to do about it in future.
Thank you for this chance. My name is Tetu Mike. I'm here to discuss about the hunger crisis and the drought in Kenya. Thank you.
Thank you very much for inviting us in the studio. My name is Shedrack Moema. I'm very glad to be here to discuss this topic. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome all. So we are beginning our talk show. So as in Kenya this year, we are experiencing a severe drought. As you can see, the drought has affected a lot of counties. When we look at the statistics, we get that there are 29 affected counties. In total, we have 11 that are in the alarm region like Jawajir, the Marsabit, Moyale, those counties. So what is your say about the drought this year? What has caused the severe drought that we did not expect as Kenyans this year? So I will begin from Moyen.
Yes, thank you very much. I think what has caused the drought in Kenya. Previously, we had a shortage of rain. Yeah, the rain was very little, which actually made the crops not to do well. So even the rivers was very dry. So I can say what has caused the drought in Kenya is due to lack of enough rain. Yeah, lack of enough rain. Yes.
Next, my friend.
In my opinion, I can say that this year it's been a bit pathetic in terms of the levels of rainfall that are experienced in Kenya. You see, areas like Turkana, there have been a minimum of at least 200 millimeters of rain this year. So the government can at least take some measures to combat that by at least digging some wells. You see, yeah.
Yes, thank you for that.
Okay, to my own conception and views is that what might have caused the drought in Kenya is the climate change. Actually, the climate has changed in the country, and not only in Kenya. There are some parts in the country and in the African view. Many countries are suffering from drought, and it's not only about the climate change, also the environment has also changed. And as you can see, as the country, we need to understand about what's our environment. Are we living in the ocean place? Are we living on the mountain place? Now, while we have the rains, we need to come up with measures like conserving water. I think that will bring out the drought that we are having in countries. Like, for example, in the counties like Kajiado, we are seeing even animals are dying because of hunger. Like in the last week, we had these issues that animals had gone down. The sales of animals had gone down to that of a cattle or a cow was going down to 500 shillings. It just we can see about how the climate change and the drought, how it's affected the counties.
Okay, thank you, Bahati. So to me, first I would say that the issue of drought is something, it's natural and it's beyond our limit. But as the government, we can't just sit back and fold our arms that this thing is above us. One thing for sure, the main reason that this issue of drought is now becoming rampant is deforestation in our country. Charcoal burning and timber laundry is at its peak as we speak as for now. I mean, most of the forested areas which were initially were prohibited from residents, now with this current government is allowing it. And those forested areas were the sources of water and rain in this country. Currently, as we speak, I guess the forested areas are around 7%, which cannot even sustain this country. And if we continue the same procedure, then Kenya is going to be a desert. I'm afraid to say so. it's going to be a desert according to me. So it's upon the government to take its initiative, one, by initiating the project of tree planting that was being done by the late Wangari Maathai. Since she died, nobody has come up maybe to continue with that workshop, and up to date, nobody is taking that thing into consideration.
So your responses have been that it is the lack of rainfall and the cause might be, you have said, is the deforestation. So in your case, let's see these areas where like we have areas with alarm regions whereby they alarm, the regions have an alarm issue of drought. We have alert and we have normal drought. Areas like the Nyeri, where it's alert, Nyeri receives a lot of rainfall. Why is it that it is only this year that Nyeri is experiencing drought, and especially it is around the Mount Kenya region? What might be the cause why Nyeri is receiving low rainfall this year? So we might start with Kitop.
Okay. Talking about Nyeri, Nyeri is an area, it's a county where it's in a mountainous area. So while speaking about Nyeri, we can speak about the deforestation, like my friend here just said. Deforestation is a big issue when it comes to drought in Nyeri. That's one. Second, it might be of poor conservation of water, as they can just think, the county government of that place can think, like we have been having rain, and since then we have rains for a long period of time, we don't need to conserve water, so they don't conserve water, they don't recycle water, and I think that's some of the biggest issues
Next, I will ask you that counties like Nyeri, Mount Kenya region, it receives low rainfall, whereas counties like Nyandarua it receives high rainfall. What could be, why is it that Nyandarua is receiving rainfall and robust harvest, while people in Nyeri are experiencing severe drought? And what should people of Nyandarua, if you are a member coming from Nyandarua, what would be your action? What would you tell people of Nyeri to do so as to cater for the drought that is affecting them? What are people of Nyeri doing that the people of Nyandarua doing that the people of Nyeri are not doing? So thank you for that. Now my next question. So as let's say as a cabinet secretary, let's say for what will be your reaction to this drought? What will you tell people who are affected with this drought? Or what will be your action to help people living in Marsabit to Wajir? What will be your measures, the cabinet secretary for water and irrigation? So people are dying of hunger, people are dying of thirst. So what will be your reaction? What will come in your mind to help people, to help the Kenyans at this time?
Okay, I'll pick on that question.
Yes.
I'll say, I'll answer it in this way. This area that are prone to drought, they don't experience drought season from January to January. There are certain times they experience also rainfall. But to me, I'm sure we want to put all this responsibility to the cabinet for water and irrigation now. One thing we have to know that we have leaders in those areas. So it means there are some people sleeping on their job. I've never had maybe this area MPs or those leaders crying for help that this area we need maybe a mini dam to be dug here, maybe to provide us with water during dry season. None. But the moment drought comes, that's when they start crying at you, government, we need your help, we need your help. But during rainy season, there's no precaution or there's no action that they do take maybe to focus on their future. Do you get me now? So with me, I'll point at leaders who are at grassroots level, plus the citizens themselves. They are going to take that initiative to their respective leaders and say, Mr. or Honorable, this is where we have challenges during dry season. So in case you can maybe help us sort this as early as now, it will be much better. But what they wait, maybe they only see Mheshimiwa for them. Then when they see him, they see money. Help us out. We need finance in this area. Those times they need future plan also.
Maybe to add on this point, when talking about, you say that they have rains in this particular period of time. Maybe now it's not only the cabinet secretary of water who is needed to speak about these issues in the drought in Kenya. We can have also the cabinet secretary of food, that one of land. They could come up together and all that unite the country on this drought, and even the citizens. You cannot tell me about that. It's all about leaders to get about the drought issues. It can start with the citizens. Now, when it has the rain comes down, you need to come up with a way of conserving water by your own before the government comes into and comes to the point to conserve water.
Yeah, I got your point. But also, Kenyans now are looking at the cabinet secretary. What are they doing? Because they are there to serve the Kenyans, and during this drought, even the members of parliament will look at the cabinet secretary. What are his actions about the climate? So when we look at that, I have another question to ask. As now, what can be your mitigation or strategy that you can use? You can tell the government to use in order to cater for this drought this season.
Okay, thank you very much, Bahati. To my opinion, I think which actually causes drought is lack of rain. So how can we do? We should ask ourselves, how can we do as citizens control actually control the drought? One thing we should plant many trees. For example, the cabinet secretary should enforce by the law. There should be no cutting down of trees. There should be no, let's say, banning of charcoal should be abolished. Yeah? Because that is actually one thing which has led to the cutting down of trees, leading to lack of rain. So, as a citizen, we should plant many trees in our area.
Okay.
Next,
Okay, with me, what I'll say, one thing for sure, this cabinet secretary on pointing that these people are not angels and they are not God to know that we experience such challenges. The only people responsible are we citizens who we elect. Because they want to elect certain leaders in power, they go and sit back, maybe they enjoy their life, forgetting that they have got a responsibility to fulfill. I will use a good example, my home area. I can say people there are just naturally lazy, including the leaders we elected in that area. We've got seasonal rivers. The land there is so fertile, but people don't want to venture into agricultural produce. But now they are now trying to get the government to do what? To help them. Meaning even this issue of government issue not food, this is not even a proper way of solving this problem. It's just a temporary, we need a permanent solution. To mean, if our leaders can go back to the ground level, identify those seasonal rivers and expand them, plus dig a minor dam that can sustain water, maybe the dry periods, that will be much better. And in fact, food will be plenty if they go to grassroots level. Where we overload these major dams in Kenya. Those are government.
thank you. Next,
Okay, I was on this issue where I said planting of trees. Maybe I'll start with that. Okay, planting of trees is a good idea. But coming up with that idea, you need to conserve waters first. As far as you're concerned, counties like Garissa or Wajir, you cannot plant trees from nowhere and yet there is no water.
yes.
Yeah, and coming to the government, the cabinet secretaries. Remember, these cabinet secretaries are new. Remember, these leaders are new. We citizens, we have been here. The government that has been initial to be placed in are new. They are new in this thing, so it's too early to condemn the cabinet secretaries and the government that they have not done it or they have done it in too shallow way. We citizens, we need to come up first and say, yes, we need to do this thing this way and we need to come up with good ideas. That's
In addition to that, I think the government should take this issue of hunger with a lot of seriousness. You see, these are almost a lot of people get prone to drought. Now, I think the government can approach this situation by at least putting up wells and solar powered pumps which could at least pump water.
Thank you for that. So, in the issue of food, recently the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua asked the private sector to donate 2 million shillings so that she can cater for the food for the counties that have been affected by the drought. So, in your opinion, do you think that the food that will be offered or that strategy will help to overcome the drought?
According to my opinion, that's the issue of providing food. It will only increase dependency on the government, and it will be a burden to this country, to government. If each and every year the government is sourcing money, it means maybe in 2 years' time, when these donors we won't have that enough money, we'll go and source money elsewhere, maybe from outside this country or this continent, leading to loaning. And that is what the government is trying to fight, this issue of loaning. That won't be the issue. If they can channel that money to proper way of maybe storing food or soil or sourcing those, it will be much better. But donating food year in, year out, that will only increase to dependence, because if you donate food this year, the same trend continue cutting down of trees. They don't preserve water for future use. They don't maybe they don't advance in their agricultural techniques. Then it means each and every year more and more people will believe that this season will also depend on our government for donation of food. So with me, I'll simply have that kind of idea of maybe sourcing money to donate food.
Thank you. Any say from you?
In addition to that, I think donation is not a bad idea. What I think we should come up with new methods of preserving our environment so that we can have enough rain. All we just preserve water. Yeah, in case the drought comes and find us in the right side.
Yeah,
Okay, maybe I add.
Yes.
Okay, he has said very nicely. They're bringing out the idea of donating food to many areas that have been affected. It's a good idea. But again, it brings that over dependence to the government. Like this, when rain will come, these people will not go back to their conserving water. They will not go back to maybe doing the plantation, whatever, because they'll just say, okay, when this time, the government will allocate some food to us. We shall be donated food. I think that before the government bring in food, they need first to give these people the idea about reinforcing about planting their own food, keeping measures to conserve water, to make these drought issues to go away from our country.
This just goes to the issue of food distribution. I think from the idea of inequality, whereby some areas receive higher contribution distribution quantities and others.
So with me, as you finalize the question, this food donation, I think we should be just as our as it is, because it's something that is urgent and also will with it. So the government will go back to the drawing board. If you compare the last year's donation and this year's food donation, it keeps on increasing year by year. So meaning by 20, possibly by 2025, so the donation will be depending on the government for donation of food. So it will be that idea of maybe loaning or maybe requesting for money maybe to donate food. I'll simply wrap it off.
Thank you. And finally, our President Dr. William Samoei Ruto has chaired the climate change conference in Egypt. He's the chairperson there, talking about the climate change. In your opinion, what will be the major issue that they need to discuss as leaders of the world about the climate change? What will you tell them that they take that they'll come there with it? What will they discuss? What will they do? Or what should they do as leaders of the nation to cater for this drought or the climate change that is affecting a lot of nations?
Okay,
Start with the drought.
I can start with that. Okay, as my friend Edward just said at the beginning of this discussion, he said the climate change is something of nature. We cannot change the climate change. Now, as you can see, it's not all about Kenya that the climate has changed. This is all about the global changes that is happening in the world. So what the leaders can do is just to to reinforce people on changing their lifestyle, be it on the ways to cater this drought thing, to conserve water, to plant trees, to conserve food. All those things, I think the government needs to reinforce it, and not only the government of Kenya, but also the African Union as well. They need to show this thing to all the Africans.
Thank you. What is your say?
In my opinion, so various government and various entities should put up strategies that if they favor the government whereby they give them fertilizers, cater for the education of
Yeah.
It's so interesting that our president is chairing that climate change conference in Egypt, yet his own country is still under that problem so far. Frank. So with me, I think I'll suggest that for us to be on the safer side, I think the government should come up with this idea if we can take into consideration idea of environmental conservation within population. This will help also the youths who are a bit jobless. They will take part in this. What does it entail? What do we need to take to conserve this environment to win this award? Through that, so many youths will take part and given a 2 years, and from that, many countries will take that idea. So the government should achieve that competition, that challenge. They should steps up for us from a grassroots level, going upward up to the county, to regional, up to national level. That's it.
Thank you. Your last word for you.
So, the leader has been how can we control this? That's the first thing. They should encourage citizens to come up with new methods of how they can control this. For example, the government can invest a lot of money in making water parks. Yeah. For example, those areas where they actually face a lot of drought, like this kind of area, they can make water parks. Yeah. They can also make what? Barriers to rivers. Yes. They can make this control agriculture.
He has said that it looks funny when the president is chairing a meeting in Egypt and yet the country is facing a calamity. Okay, chairing a meeting on Egypt is not about this calamity is not about Kenya, it's facing African countries. So chairing it in Egypt doesn't mean that is not dealing with that facing Kenya.
For you to chair it, it means you've got possible way of combating that calamity, that disaster. So meaning he has got those ideas, but he can't share it.
Yeah.
With his own people. So how does that make sense?
Okay, you see why I'm saying this? Maybe he cannot share. Maybe he has already shared with the people of Kenya, but now he has gone up there to Egypt so that they can come up together as Africans together, so that if you are Kiswahili, maybe kama unajaribu kufunga kwa hii, mnasaidiana nyinyi wote kumaliza hiyo shida, because it's an African problem. It's not a problem that's facing only Kenya or Egypt or any other country. It's a problem facing like Kenya, Egypt, this Mali, you see. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for that. And finally, I might say that yes, Kenyans have always known. Kenyans living in Mandera or Marsabit, Turkana always know that they drought, but they don't know. Let's say it is lack of awareness on how to the actions that should be needed, like building boreholes or like planting drought-resistant crops. But we can say that lack of awareness is a matter of an issue for Kenyans. So the government should start by creating awareness. What is your say?
So maybe if it is Narok here, they will take a survey. Maybe Narok last year we had maybe this amount of trees planted, and the rate at which they drought maybe distress these people was so many more. Then Narok will take the lead that country that year. Then they will be awarded maybe a certain token. I mean, these people will be so many people will take part.
Next, what is your say about
Okay, you're talking about the lack of awareness. I don't think citizens of Kenya, they don't have this awareness. They have. But what the Kenyan citizen tends in their mind is that kupuuza.
So ignorance.
Yeah, ignorance. So
ignorance.
this awareness, I think Kenyans know that drought is it's a natural calamity. It is there with us. So we need to come up with ideas to avoid them. I think awareness, Kenyans have already had the awareness. I think what they need to do is to grow and to grow.
Yeah, thank you for that. Next.
I think the government should address the people living in these drought-stricken areas. On the regions of maybe overstocking, you see, you find a person maybe has a hand of 500 quarters. Also, the land is the problem.
Thank you very much. For the government to create awareness, they should announce drought as a serious disaster in our country. You know, like the Papa said, most of us, we just ignore. Yeah. So, government should announce it as a serious disaster. We should be ready on how to plant those crops which need to ready. Yes.
We have come to the end of our talk show today. Thank you for your availability. You are welcome next time and have a nice time. My name is Bahati Yusra. I was your host today on the Mara Eye.